everyone rise, please? We're going to have the playing of our national anthem, which will be sung by Michael Angelo Battaglia, and he will be accompanied by the Peters Township High School Band. I ask that you also remain standing for the invocation, which will be given by the Reverend Daniel A. Valentine of St. Benedict's Catholic Church.
Good morning. O divine keeper of memories, 17, 18 years have come and gone when first you sent into parents' arms a little child, heaven's gift, earth's great promise. Out of sight and alone they held their gift, close to proud, excited hearts, whispering into tiny ears the hopes and dreams of some mysterious future. Little understood, the embrace was enough in those early days to sustain this emerging life, which they uniquely named to be the person today we know. From early days of simple words, through tottering moments of first walk, to new friends and first days of school, the world of family and friends has grown, sharing the promise that your life brings. And now again, a moment to hear anew your name from heaven, as God proclaims for all to hear. Listen well as I tell the story of your life, with all its hopes and all its dreams, shaped by those who believed that your life makes all the difference in this world. Amen, amen. This prayer now ends with all its hopes, dreams, and all its love, as it was in the beginning. So it is now, and so it will be in the world yet to come.
Please be seated. Good morning, and welcome to Peters Township High School's commencement exercise for the class of 1991. This is indeed a great day for our seniors, and also for the guests, family, and friends who have joined here today to celebrate in Mass this graduating class's symbolic rite of passage into adulthood. One group of guests I'm particularly pleased to recognize are those individuals representing the faculties of Peters Township Schools. These individuals have come to share in this occasion and to wish their former students, our graduates, your children, a farewell. At this time, Would those faculty members seated before me please stand and be recognized for their efforts in support of youth of our community as they pass through the classrooms. Please rise, faculty. Thank you. As adults and graduates, we can all close our eyes and remember the emotional rush we had the day we graduated from high school, and how this rush was accompanied by confusion and torment of our hearts and our minds. It is with great rejoice that we remember it was this newfound energy that propelled us into our journey into our lives, forcing us to sort out our emotions and to reconfigurate the confusion and torment of our hearts and minds into opportunity and achievement. So it is today that amidst this conscious and subconscious emotional upheaval of our children, that we smile, realizing that from this experience comes the seeds of adulthood, a new branch on your family tree, and another chapter in the history of us all. I say good luck to the graduates, as I know your journey will twist and turn, but I am confident that you will find the right path in life and seize the opportunities and achieve a great deal of success. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our 4 student speakers. Melissa Gail Kramer, Nidhi Kumar, Rebecca Mary Brandstatter, and Robert Scott Baranti. Melissa?
I have to be honest. I can't remember a single trig identity. I couldn't tell you much at all about our 25th president, William McKinley, and I'd be hard-pressed to explain just exactly how an electric generator works. But I've spent 12 years of my life learning things like this for undefined and seemingly illogical reasons. Although what we've really been learning is how to learn. But beyond that, I've realized that what I've learned in the classroom about chemistry or American history perhaps isn't as important as what I've learned about life. Because once I did think about it, I realized how much I really have learned and how much I have changed since I'd entered high school as a freshman 4 years ago. I can remember the night before my first diving meet. I couldn't sleep and I felt sick because I thought that if I fell on my face, everyone would see me and not one person would ever forget it. Well, I did fall on my face, and if any of you saw me get out of the pool with my face bright red, not from embarrassment, but from slamming the water so hard, I doubt very much you remember. I've learned that I've never achieved anything satisfying that I wasn't originally afraid to do. Eventually, I tried that dive again, and eventually I could do it. Life takes guts, and although I don't think anyone would call me brave, I'm getting there. I've also learned a lot about time. It diminishes the importance of those major life events like cheerleading tryouts or the SATs, and it magnifies the importance of the things I took for granted, like getting a break for recess and having my mom tuck me in at night. Time is also making me realize that maybe mom and dads do know best, and sometimes I do need them more than I care to admit. And I've also learned a little bit about people. I realized that it's okay to be disappointed in the way things happen or the way people are, because people are human and we all make mistakes. But I know that no matter how bad of a day I'm having or how upset I am, friends usually cheer me up without even trying. And no matter how lucky I am or how big of an achievement I've made, if my friends aren't there, it doesn't mean a whole lot. So maybe the important things in life aren't earning grades, earning a big salary, buying a lot of clothes, or placing in a swim meet, but whether I've got people around who care. So working on better relationships with people seems to me to matter the most, because I'll never remember the term papers I wrote, any finals I took, or what I scored on any particular test. But I will remember the people that were here for me, the people that meant something to me, and all the people that I once counted on to keep me going to try a little bit harder. Thank you.
Over the years, I've used my shoebox for many things. In kindergarten, I filled my box with dirt, planted the seeds, and waited eagerly for my bean sprouts to grow. In elementary school, my box was filled with paper cutouts to depict a scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or whatever book we happened to be reading at the time. When Valentine's Day would come along, the cutouts were replaced with pink and red hearts and lace. Now, this is the box where I keep my memories. Let me share them with you. This is my pencil, possibly the single most important possession of my high school career. This isn't just any pencil, but my super-duper number 2 pencil. And my Scantron sheet. I've used this number 2 pencil to fill in more circles than I've ever wanted to see in my entire life. I also have my freshman schedule with me. It reminds me of the confusion of my first few days of high school. Luckily, the seniors were there to help guide me in the direction of the cafeteria when I wanted to go to gym. The handbook's in here to signify change and adjusting to change. The change from middle school to high school and to the new administration's senior year. Ah, my car keys, my freedom, my transportation, my lifeline. And of course, you can't drive your car to school without your parking pass. I'll never forget my 7:41 arrivals at school when the late bell rings at 7:42. Red Umbros, the unofficial sponsor of our high school gym class. And my varsity letter. All the hard work and time I spent out on the court and in the classroom, having fun and making friends. I have a dumb joke book in my box. Some people are convinced that I've written every dumb joke book ever published. Anyway, here, let me give you an example. A guy walked into a bar. It hurt. This makes absolutely no sense to some, but dumb jokes were sometimes the only thing that helped me and my friends keep our sanity, and it gave us a chance to laugh when we didn't think it was possible. There are pictures in my box as well, pictures of my family and friends. They've always been there for me, and I thank God for them. These things may not be the most valuable or the most precious items from my life. In fact, many of them are probably lying around your own house somewhere. But these are the things that will always remind, or perhaps I should say haunt me, of my high school days. Who we are and much of what we've become developed somewhere between first grade reading and senior English. Most of us have been together 4 years, others for 7, and a few of us have had the privilege of having known each other since the first day of kindergarten. High school in many ways can be considered the trial run of our life. We made mistakes, met friends, and did some work. We changed over the years and learned about who we are. In the next couple of years, we'll get the chance to start over, learn from our mistakes, and make new friends. And now as we move on, either alone or with friends, we will always have our memories with us. Congratulations, seniors. Just do it.
The White Rabbit put on his spectacles. "Where shall I begin?" he asked. "Begin at the beginning," the king said gravely, "and go on until you come to the end. Then stop." Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, stated the obvious well. whatever we do or say, we usually start at the beginning and stop when we reach the end. Looking back through the past 12 years, we can single out many beginnings and ends, whether they are fads, interests, or relationships. Today, it may seem as if we have come to an end. The speeches, the ceremony, and the diplomas are all indicative of a final step. Today cannot be an end, though. No one here is finished. Each of our life stories have pages and pages of blank paper yet to be written on. So, if we have not reached the end, it must be that we have simply come to another beginning. Begin at the beginning. For most of us, this was an elementary school somewhere in Peters Township. We all led fairly simple lives, perfectly content with school, recess, and after-school cartoons. We learned how to be good, how to walk in a single file line, and how to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Completely dependent on the adults that surrounded us, we did not yet know how to rationalize and reason for ourselves, nor did we know how to question authority. These were our first few steps through the looking glass of education. Middle school. The pressing question, where were we going to go to school? Had it not been for Neil Armstrong, we might have had classes 400 feet down in a coal mine under the old middle school. Thrust into a new school, in a new township, with kids from 2 other elementary schools, and a different teacher in class for every room, for every class, 6th grade was bound to be a struggle. And by the end of 7th grade, after we had finally adapted to middle school life at Neil Armstrong, we were shipped to Andrew Mellon in Mount Lebanon. Somehow during the transitions, we managed to find a group of people to identify with. For better or worse, these groups became distinguished, and the appropriate labels, and some not so appropriate labels, were assigned to each. During middle school, we each began hearing the faint voice of the smoking caterpillar, demanding to know, who are you? Everyone began searching to find their own identity. In the process of trying to figure out who we were, with all of the braces and bubblegum, came experiments with makeup for the girls in 3 basic colors: purple, electric blue, and hot pink. For the guys, well, the best they could do was change the part in their hair, if they were that lucky. These 3 short years sum up most of the uncertainty and insecurity we felt. For some, it was the best of times, and others, it was the worst. Good or bad, those experiences laid the foundations for the people we were to become 4 years down the road. Much like Alice was led from her garden, we were taken from the security of middle school and led to a strange and foreign world, high school. The words of the caterpillar echoed in our minds as we reestablished ourselves with the rest of the people in the school. We also began changing shapes and sizes, not because of a vial labeled "drink me," but the various hormones that were being released had much the same effect. As we matured, we made many adjustments. Physically, we had to learn how to do things with longer legs and bigger feet. Mentally, we had to reevaluate how we fit into our surroundings. Along with this growth came a development of personal values and standards. Although we may develop these things now, they will be useful and used for the rest of our lives. Academically, we have all wandered into the classroom of a Mad Hatter, some teacher who has made us each question our sanity. And we have also probably stepped on the territory of the Queen of Hearts, who threatened not to be off with our heads, but threatened you with an automatic F. As we see through the looking glass into the last 12 years, we begin to realize that some of the craziness actually makes sense. Indeed, some of the things we have done, characters we have met, and places we have visited, especially over the past 4 years, make almost as much sense as a tale about a girl falling down a rabbit's hole. But all of this madness is a part of growing up and preparing for what is to come. Where we go from here depends on what we have done and learned since the very first day of kindergarten. Most of us here today know that we want to get somewhere in life, but we want someone to point us in the right direction. In conclusion, I have some advice given to Alice by the Cheshire Cat as she found herself in a very similar situation. "Cheshire Puss," she began rather timidly, "would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?" "That depends a good deal on where you want to get to," replied the cat. "I don't much care where," said Alice. "Then it doesn't matter which way you go," said the cat. "So long as I get somewhere," Alice added as an explanation. "Oh, you're sure to do that," replied the cat, "if only you walk long enough." Thank you.
You often hear that history repeats itself. It is interesting for me to see the parallels between the class of 1941 and the class of 1991. We both embark upon a world of suffering and uncertainty caused by war, a sagging economy, and social unrest. But we also emerge on the brink of positive political and technological changes. This enabled them and will enable us to overcome our obstacles. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the class of 1941. Would you please stand or wave as I call your name? And an informal reception for the faculty and staff will be held for you where you can receive your certificates. Would you join me in welcoming Mr. Howard R. Baird, Mr. Angelo Biani, Mr. William Boyce, Mrs. Florence Fisher Burke, Mrs. Hope Angemir Erickson, Miss Ann Slivko Gary, Miss Margaret O'Neill Gillespie, Mrs. Virginia Dietz Hickman, Mrs. Kathleen Williams Liddick, Miss Pauline Zrimzek Audi, Miss Frida Matthews Seebacher, Miss Dorothy P. Sproles, Mrs. Mary Bell Webster, and Mrs. Catherine Dames Wagner. Congratulations to you all.
It is now my highest honor to present to Mr. Gerald Prado, President of the Peters Township School District Board of Directors, and to Dr. Dennis Urso, the Superintendent of Schools for Peters Township, the class of 1991. As principal of Peters Township High School, I certify that each member of the graduating class of 1991 have successfully completed and fulfilled the requirements for graduation set forth by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Board of School Directors of this great district, and present them to you for awarding of diplomas and for Dr. Urso in his capacity as superintendent to officially declare formal graduation of this class of 1991. At this time, Mr. Prado.
Thank you, Dr. Aegis. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to be here today as President of the Peters Township Board of School Directors, as a representative of the community, and most importantly, as a parent of one of the graduates. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of the graduates, and I would also like to encourage you to pursue the goals that you set for yourself in the future with the same enthusiasm that you showed in pursuing the goals that you have achieved in the past. The enthusiasm of youth is one of the key ingredients for success in the future. Over the past several weeks, you have heard a lot of people speak about change, and clearly you have experienced a great deal of change during your years here at Peters Township. We heard Dr. Ebersol at the baccalaureate address Thursday evening speak about change and how it leads to excellence. And there's a very popular book out now called Teaching the Elephants to Dance. And the theme of that book is a discussion of various methods used to change the culture or tradition or ways that corporations do things after they've done things the same way for decades. One chapter in the book deals with change and the uncertainty that it creates. And in its final analysis, it discusses how change also creates opportunities and change also creates leaders. Individuals become leaders during a period of change because they sense an opportunity and they take advantage of that opportunity. I don't believe that there can be any doubt that over the next several months, and probably for the next 4 or 5 years, you will experience the greatest changes of your young lives. Remember that those changes mean opportunities. Pursue those opportunities with enthusiasm, the enthusiasm of youth. Make sure that you never look back on an event or an opportunity and wish that you had tried harder. Finally, I sincerely hope that, regardless of what you may think at times, that you all realize that you are very, very important to everyone who is here today to honor you, and to many people who are not able to be here today. We're all very proud of you, and we will always be proud of you. Good luck and congratulations.
Brian M. Andrusick, James R. Bayard, John A. Banzak Jr., Robert Scott Branty, Todd Jonathan Barton, Michael Angelo Battaglia, Brian L. Bachman, Ryan Julius Bednar, Brian Thomas Bell, C. Matthew Blosh, Chris Allen Bokelberg, Keith Matthew Borowski, Richard J. Boyd Jr., Joseph M. Brosnan, Richard A. Burns, Brian J. Burt, Carl John Carenza, Matthew D. Choate, Drew Marshall Church, James Michael Sabron, Mark Anderson Corson, Bradley Charles Croco, Christopher M. Chagosky, Christopher M. Daly, William John Dooner III,
Are you leaving?
Sarah Lee Altman, Marion Jane Baker, Krista Kathleen Baldoff, Kelly Lee Benson, Dawn Lynn Bogenkamp, Rebecca Mary Brandstatter, Michelle L. Brogan, Nanette L. Brua, Cecilia J. Cagney, Shannon Marie Carney, Stephanie Lynn Chapman, Marissa Janet Cicconelli, Holly Beth Conley, Janine Teresa Conwell, Jennifer M. Cross, Jennifer E. Cunningham, Dawn Gail Davidovich, Jennifer Christine DeJaneiro, Andrea Lynn Denuzio, Wendy Elise Driver, Christine Ray Dvorsnak, Robin Lee Evans, Elizabeth Catherine Fabian, Jennifer May Flynn.
Marco M. DiPaolo. David Lawrence Subban. James L. Ellis. Jeffrey Escher. Michael C. Evans. Thomas F. Fay. John Fagan. Kenneth J. Fallis. Derek Michael Fink. Joseph A. Forbes. Daniel Foster. Dan N. Fraley Jr. Jonathan Michael France. Michael B. Gaffkey. Grant Thomas Goodburn. Eric J. Hanchak. Israel M. Harden. Matthew M. Harkness. David D. Heil. Brian E. Higgins. Richard A. Holcomb. Ryan James Hutchison. Christopher T. Janda. Brian R. Joseph. Daniel L. Kurtz.
Jennifer Frioli. Christy L. Friday. Gina Lorraine Gianni. Tanya Gigante. Shannon Marie Glazer. Stephanie L. Gorney. Leslie Renee Gotch. Melinda Ray Hennessy. Kimberly Susan Hennigan. Diane Marie Yulo. Gretchen Lynn Hirsch. Lisa A. Jessup. Alexis Renee Jester. Carrie Lynn Jones. Cynthia Lee Cook. Kristen Susan Clutch. Mary Catherine Knob. Melissa Gail Kramer. Liddy Kumar. Jennifer L. Kuntz. Angela Dawn Lewis. Christine A. Morton. Alice Catherine Merkel.
Kevin J. Knox. Mark Allen Kramer. Christopher John Krupa. Christopher J. Layton. Donald T. Lee. Richard S. Lee. Brian Shane Lenner. Jason P. Lieberman. Christopher John Livengood. Ralph Craig Lowe II. Darrell William Lowry. David Charles Luffy. James Robert Maffey. Robert Kirk May. Michael Dean Mervyn. Charles Preston Miller IV. Eric Brian Mondick. William Robert Morgan. Scott Allen Morrow. Bradley J. Moner. Robert L. Nichols. Christopher F. Oakhorn. Eric Vincent Orient. Mark Richard Patnachuk. Scott E. Williams.
Krista Louise Mikesell. Alexis Elizabeth Morgan. Patricia Ann Morrow. Christina J. Mosier. Tricia Lynn Moss. Allison Elizabeth Mole. Kay Kirsten Mermel. Roberta Gail Perry. Eileen Marie Phillips. Teresa E. Pietricatello. Tammy M. Podolinsky. Nicole Suzanne Polera. Lynn Marie Prado. Tammy Ann Prince. Elizabeth Catherine Raphael. Jody Lynn Robinson. Catherine M. Rogers. Lisa Marie Ross. Elizabeth Nicole Ribellino. Carrie Danielle Ruggiero. Sona Karen Sodasai. Melissa Mary Saunders. Lisa Marie Scarpelli. Fiona Lorraine Seals. Christina Marie Seamiller. Chad Pratt. Robert Brent Rawlings. Jeffrey E. Reinert. John Paul Richards. Kevin R. Ringling. Jeffrey Scott Rizzo. Thomas David Ross. Philip James Rudy. Colin Maynard Rupnoth. Frederick Michael Santoro. Douglas James Saunders. Joseph W. Sawich. Philip A. Schaefer Jr. Jeffrey M. Schmiegel. Peter E. Schurg. Ronald Arthur Scott. W. Thomas Scott III. William Wendell Sears. Gary Williston Seward. John M. Seibert. Brian Matthew Sigmund. R. Judd Skeen. Timothy Kenneth Small. Matthew K. Smith. Ronald Shane Smith.
Kristen Michelle Shanafelt. Leanne Marie Smith. Kimberly M. Thomas. Heather Nicole Throcow. Ariana Lynn Thwaite. Gretchen Marie Till. Trudy Lynn Tigert. Amy E. Underwood. Nancy L. Underwood. Joe Ann Yoka. Alexander S. Zika. Beth Ellen Zika. Melanie Lynn Zug. Ronald Sean Smith. James Robert Steinbeck. Christopher W. Stark. Damon L. Taylor. Stephen M. Trocano. Alejandro Carlos Area. Adam John Ferry. Jerry Michael Williams. Scott David Whitman. Orion Judson Wolf.
If this were 30 years ago and 30 miles north, you may have been told at commencement ceremonies, by virtue of the fact that you qualified for a high school diploma, you could go forth and be successful, for you would have been taught all there was to know to become contributing members of the community. You may have also been informed that you were prepared to take your places with your fathers and your uncles at the mill, where if you worked hard enough, you would find security for the rest of your life. If I were to say those words today, then surely we would have failed in our mission, for those words would be as frail as the lacy, rusted shells of those mills that dot the riverfronts. Please forgive me for the double negatives I'm about to unleash, as I say that we offer no apology for not teaching you all there is to know in this complex age of knowledge explosion. We would have failed, however, if we did not provide you with the realization that learning is a lifelong activity. We offer no apology for not asking you to merely become first-class community members through your contributions. We would have failed, however, if we did anything less than charge you to become world-class leaders. For within our global society, our boundaries extend far beyond our communities, state, and nation. We offer no apology by not saying you are prepared for a lifelong job. We would have failed, however, if we did not provide you with the sense that in all likelihood, according to statistics, you will change careers, not merely jobs, 5 to 7 times in your life. And finally, we offer no apology for not giving you a feeling of confidence by saying that you are prepared to face a stable and secure future. We would have failed, however, if we did anything other than prepare you to accept change. Even at that, we may have failed unless we challenge you to not only accept change, but to lead change. Therefore, as superintendent in 1991, I challenge you to go forth as lifelong learners, become world-class leaders, and create change. So with the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Peters Township Board of School Directors, I confer upon you all the rights, privileges, and immunities thereunto appertaining as graduates of Peters Township High School. Congratulations.
I'm going to give him, like I told him, Dennis, about 15 seconds or so. Okay, let's regain our seating. Okay, gentlemen, we're ready for the benediction. Gentlemen, we're ready for the benediction, please. Wow, that's not good. Good job. At this time, I would like to again have the Reverend Daniel A. Valentine, and he will lead us in a benediction.
The Lord of Mystery, wandering through the corridors of our lives, you bless us with your presence at this moment of passage. You have graced us in our gathering of graduates, family, and friends. You have uncovered our eyes to see beyond the ordinary. You've opened our eyes and our ears to the song of the universe. Always make sacred the ground upon which we move. Let the fire of your passion give life to all we do. Bless us with humility to know that we are shaped by those who love us, and courage to believe that our love can shape the face of the earth. Amen.
Please rise.
Here we go. Call everyone. Want to? We're last. We're last.
Sure, now it's the years we had to class.
I guess we all walk up as a group and we see positive.
be next to the last. Just marked out.
Anytime we go
Just marked out the track and
we stand.
we gotta switch places. We're all about to be here. Huh? Well, that one girl's had landed right. Nidhi. Remember, you guys follow that row of girls. What? Here, you go right with them.